Hey everyone, this is Shayna from wordofmouth.org, and I'm here with wordofmouth.org crash course speaker, Kory Klem. Kory, can you tell us a little about the case study you'll be discussing on May 10th?
Absolutely, Shayna. I'm teaching a session discussing how men's health charity Movember uses word-of-mouth marketing and other social and technology tools to help raise $120 million for men's health and cancer research around the globe last year in November of 2011.
Great. And what are the top 3 lessons people will learn in your session?
We're going to convey that, for us, your participants become your ambassadors. And that's going to become very evident when we discuss the growth of Movember over the years and as it's spread from Australia around the globe. The second thing that I'd like to teach people is that one of the things that has really helped us is giving a little bit more accessibility to our brand. And as those ambassadors continue to trumpet what you do and what you represent, and in the case of us, it's men's health, the accessibility of our brand has really enabled that message to sort of get out and spread. And then the final thing is, we're a very serious organization. We've raised a lot of money over the years for cancer research, and that ultimately at the core is what we do. But one of the things that's given our efforts a lot of lift is the fact that Movember also is a lot of fun, whether it's the silliness of a mustache, whether it's the accessibility where, it's very easy for most people to grow a mustache, and then, the resulting conversations with that, which becomes sort of that door opener conversation. I believe that, the fun has really helped us with a lot of our growth.
Yeah, definitely. What was the biggest challenge Movember faced in getting word of mouth started?
Well, as we're a global organization, I think that, one of the key things is as it spread from Australia where it started to New Zealand, the UK, and beyond, the first thing is, how do you create the right touch points to basically bring that message into a new market or a new part of the world? Something as simple as mo, which is a very common slang for a mustache in Australia, doesn't really translate as much in the U.S. So, as we started up the U.S. campaign years ago, that was something that we had to take into consideration because a lot of people didn't know that. The second thing is, with the crazy growth that we've had over the last 8 years, we still run into people who think that Movember is just this concept. There's not really an organization behind it. And they'll end up growing a mustache in November and didn't even realize that there was, a place where you signed up and registered and you could message out to your friends and family, track your Mo space, and your growth in your entire Movember journey. So, that's another piece that we just need to make sure that we stay on point and get that message across. And we've done a good job of it, but those two things still remain the challenge as we continue to grow, especially into new areas.
Yeah. So what is your favorite word-of-mouth story of all time?
Well, the first, I'd like to share 2 of them. The first one is a story that our CEO and one of our founders, Adam Garoni, had last year when he was in Toronto, and he was going from one Movember event to another one, and he hopped into the cab, and in the back seat he had a cab driver from, I believe, Sri Lanka, and he complimented his mustache. And without saying that he was even affiliated with Movember, it was amazing. He recounts the story of how the cab driver basically said, "Thanks, it's for Movember," and then went into this long spiel about what Movember was. And then Adam pressed on and asked him what kind of impact this has had on his life, how he got involved. And he basically talked about how he went home and he brought this up, and there was a conversation about it. And that conversation about men's health caused a family member to go out and get checked and ultimately caught a cancer that ultimately saved their lives. And, to me, that shows the power not only of the message and the movement, but also just how passionate the ambassadors that we have out there who are participating in Movember are about helping spread the word about men's health. And then the second one's just a personal one. For me, word of mouth is the sort of marketing that doesn't need any boost or lift. It's the kind of thing that when somebody tells you about it, you use it, and it just sticks, and then you become that ambassador for that product or service. And it's sort of top of mind because as I was leaving Austin, I got to meet one of my heroes, Phil Libin, the gentleman who created and is the CEO of Evernote. And Evernote is just one of those tools where, probably as much as email, I live in that on a daily basis across all my iDevices and Macs and whatnot. And, it's the sort of thing that I joked with Phil that if I actually had an affiliate code in the early days of Evernote 5-6 years ago, I probably would be able to retire right now because I pushed so many people onto the platform. And I just think that the quality of their service, the fact that it's always up, the fact that it sort of serves a purpose that people didn't even know they have, and the fact that most people just hear about it from friends is a testament to how great it is.
Yeah. So, one more question I have to ask you. What's the secret to growing a great mustache?
Well, I think you first have to look at the raw materials that you have. You guys have seen photos of mine. I don't know if I'm the best person to really give that advice, but we always say that there are no good or bad mustaches because if it's good, people are going to compliment you, and that's going to start the conversation. And if it's bad, they might tease you a little bit, and that's going to also start the conversation. But either way, it's going to be great. So, and maybe I'm going to have to save some of those growing tips for our talk in Austin.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well,
perfect.
Folks
You what?
I said we've got to tease it a little bit and make sure the folks know that they can expect to leave knowing how to grow a good mustache.
Just an added perk to seeing Kory's presentation in May.
Exactly.
Well, perfect. That's actually all the time we have now, but you can come learn how to grow a great mustache and see more from Kory Klem at the wordofmouth.org crash course in Austin on May 10th. Come for one day of love, happiness, and word of mouth. Thanks, Kory.
Thank you so much.
And go to wordofmouth.org/crash course to register.